This is Dave.
This is Reese.
And this is Manic Joy, a podcast about
life,
love, and
uncertainty.
Well, hello, friends. Welcome to another, I guess this is another bonus episode, maybe.
Friday Night Idiots.
Yeah. We'll see. We'll see what happens. So,
Boing.
as we've mentioned before, we've just been kind of getting in front of the microphones to play around and do some stupid crap just to practice. We'll get back to our regularly scheduled, more structured shows for season 2. We will. But I've been enjoying just kind of, we typically start each episode kind of like off the cuff anyway and just talk about what's recent.
Recent.
Yeah. Now you need a segment called
Recently with Reese.
Recently with Reese.
And then I tell you what happened recently.
Yes. Well.
Boing.
You've got to stop. You've got to stop.
Never.
It's not just in front of the microphone. She just does it all the time at the house. Just every time I walk into the room, she's like, boing. No, she doesn't.
I don't.
It's just when the microphone's on. Which I don't know if that makes it any less annoying.
I think it's fun.
Well, friends, I hope you have a martini. We should have a segment called Everything's going to be a segment.
Everything is a segment.
Yeah, no, but I hope as you're listening, I think what you should do is...
Well, we should do Martini Mondays with Dave and Reese.
Martini Mondays now. And let's have our... What's a Tequila Tuesdays?
We could have a Tequila Tuesday.
Martini Monday, Tequila Tuesday.
Whiskey
Wednesday.
What?
Nothing rhymes with Thursday.
Thirsty Thursday. It could be
Thirsty
free for all.
Thursday. Whatever you bring to the table is what you have. And then Fireball Fridays.
I would drink some Fireball. I like...
that is... No. Why would you say that? No. Oh, jeez. There are...
Every time I do
Every time.
I choke.
Every time.
That's what she said.
So this has been an interesting week, I think. It's one of those weeks I've felt very out of sorts.
It was the longest week.
Yeah, it was like long and short at the same time. I haven't been very motivated this week.
I found Dave a couple of times just standing in front of the house.
Oh, well, so...
the front door would be open, and I'm like, what's going on?
That's funny.
And I look outside, and Dave's just wandering about out in the front of the house.
So that's actually funny that you say that. And like I said, I've been out of sorts this week. So
and Emily saw you do it too, and she was like, what's
going
happening?
on?
And I was like, I think Daddy's just going through some stuff. He's just got some stuff. And then we hear you in the next room belting out some song.
Oh, yeah. So lots of things have been happening with me this week, I guess, apparently, if we think about it. So sometimes I'm a little too hot in the house, and like there were weeks where I'm just like, I'm going to go outside to cool down so I'm not like sitting there sweating. But then the other thing was like, I'm just, we lost another tree. I think I've mentioned that, or maybe I haven't, but we've lost a tree in the backyard. Luckily, no one's hurt. It fell down into the neighbor's yard. Again, luckily their house is away. It didn't really hit their house.
It fell into the ground like Thor.
There was like
took it and threw it.
Spiking that
into
happened.
the ground.
And now I'm just paranoid about these trees. I'm going to call the guy and say, come give me an estimate to just remove them all.
Uh-oh. You know who's going to show up?
Oh, Jesus Christ. The Lorax?
The Lorax is going to show up.
Oh, boy.
But if you cut down the trees, it's going to look like a tree graveyard, and it's going to look unsightly. I'm sorry. It's going to look yucky. With all those tree stumps.
I don't think it's going to look yucky. It's just going to look
yucky.
It's going to look bare. But you could make that, you know what we could do is you could, listen, you'll like this. You could turn it into a giant gnome garden.
Yeah, you know what's going to happen? People are going to want to come and look at it. And that means they're going to
come and take pictures.
And be on our property. No, thank you.
Well, they were already on our property. We might as well give them a reason.
No, thanks. Can we talk about today how we had this fabulous plan and all the things we wanted to accomplish we did, except for when our biggest brilliant plan was that I had to return something at Kohl's, and then you were going to go to the liquor store, and then we were going to meet in the middle.
You blew it.
And I was like, this is a great plan, because they're right next to each other, and I could just, like, walk over there. So I go in, and I'm standing on the line, and I'm playing on my phone, and I'm not thinking about anything as I do. And then I constantly touch my nose ring, and I go to touch my nose ring, and I'm like, wow, I feel it. This is weird. And then I realized why the woman in front of me kept turning around
Giving you the stink eye.
She was really she was like,
Yeah, well.
I was like, what is happening?
Listen, that's what you get now. That's what I'm
like,
okay with it.
What is her? Does she know me? Like, why is she like jocking me? And then I'm like, oh, I've been standing here for 5 minutes without
a mask.
I was maskless.
You know, I guess I would just say like, hey, did you forget your mask? And then you would be like, oh my, you would have been like, oh my, yeah, I did. Yeah. But then there were people where if you were like, oh, did you forget your mask? They could be like, fuck you, motherfucker.
Right.
I don't believe in masks.
And then you turn
it's
around.
Like, oh my God, okay.
But then you turn around
Not
and you
trying
stop.
to be aggressive. Yeah.
I know, but then you turn around and you stop. And then if she had turned around and been like pointing.
Yeah, like.
And I would have been like, oh.
But I guess you just don't know. But again, it didn't have to be like a huffy, like.
She was like really, really going for it. And then I feel like one of these days I'm going to be like, try me.
Wow.
But it could be about anything.
She's tiny, but she's torturous.
Listen, I've been.
I had to look for something that rhymed with a T.
Is that what you were doing?
I did, yeah.
I would say, like, I've been pretty good since we moved here. I haven't gotten into any altercations. There was, like, one time where someone.
I'm trying to think if there was
someone mistook me for a student at work.
Oh, yeah?
I kind of.
I
got snippy.
Did you give him the what for?
I gave him a little what for. And then my students were, like. I was using the copier, and obviously they don't want students using the copier. I'm there with my North Face, all like making copies, and my students are there, like thinking I'm awesome. And then this person comes in, and she's just like, "Are you supposed to be using the copier? Did you get permission?" And I'm like,
"Get permission?"
I was like, "I work here." But it was like a question because I was kind of.
Oh, she totally thought you were.
She thought I was a student.
And was giving you gruff.
Yes, my first reaction when people do that to me is I get like flustered, like I'm gonna cry, and then it turns to pure anger.
You pull an Emily, and then you pull a Johnny.
Yeah, that's why they are like me. But thank God they're mostly like you because thank God.
Well,
I'm like, I don't know. I was. Heated, and then I was like, I work here, and she's like, okay. And that's what got me. That's why I was like,
yeah, okay. So
would you like to see my ID? Because I have it. And these are my students from my class.
That deserves it. That deserves it.
And she was like, oh, well, you know, something
You're
about
so
it making
tiny.
a mistake.
I could put you in my pocket.
Something mistake, and I'm like, okay. And then she left, and I was like, that fucking bitch.
Yeah, I can see that.
And thank God, like the two students that were there were like they kind of they knew me, like they've been in other classes that I had, and they were fine about it. But I was like, try me. And so I didn't do what I normally do, which is I get crazy. Dave has seen me. You've seen me.
Well, we've seen each other. Crazy.
Remember that time I punched the glass in the door in the basement?
Yeah, I wasn't going to go there, but...
I'll go there. I don't care.
No, but that one was I don't even remember why. Why were you so upset?
We were fighting.
Was it because we were fighting, or was it something with your mother?
No, I think we were fighting. Or I was just... Whatever.
Yeah.
I mean...
I don't remember what we were fighting.
It could have been both.
It was probably a little bit of both. I mean, that's when we were living there, so...
just, punched the... in the basement of my mom's house... The door downstairs. She
totally punched the window and knocked it right out of the.
Yep, punched it.
And it was great. That's great. Yep. So I had to get cardboard and I forget how we even got that fixed.
We got it fixed.
Who did we call to fix that?
Because we called my. Do you remember my friend's wedding that we went to?
That we had to leave.
That we had to leave because they turned into Courtney Love.
Because you had an incident.
But she still loves me. I'm not going to mention her name so I don't embarrass her in case you do this. But she still loves me, and we look alike. We look like twins. And anyway, so her husband has a glass place.
Oh,
and
okay.
I contacted
is that
her.
Who we called? Okay.
And I said, I don't know what happened. Would be like I kept mad and punched it.
I got bullshit and punched a hole.
I was like Vivian Lee in like freaking
I don't know.
Gone with the Wind throwing ashtrays at Rhett Butler.
Wow. Okay.
I'm gonna go out there.
Right. I was wondering why you were wearing that weird dress.
Mm-hmm. That looked like curtains.
And then for some reason I had I didn't have a mustache at the time, but then I did. It was weird.
Yeah, it was really weird.
And for some reason, you did it, and I really didn't give a damn.
And you know what? We should call this segment, for some reason, this is the, delete it, delete.
Wow.
Delete.
Beep, boop, beep, boop, beep, boop, beep.
Martinis are great on a Friday night.
I like them.
I think a Friday night martini is something that should be
And then you bookend it with a Martini Monday, and then everything is good.
And everything is, listen, I'm not even kidding.
That's the scary part, yes.
I know.
No, I know.
I like this plan. I like this menu that we created of alcohol. My birthday's coming
Your
up.
birthdays, it blows my mind when we have the brain things.
I know. We do it.
All the time.
Yeah.
And then you know what makes it even more crazy? For all the times we're right on the same blip, 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 there are lots of times where we're like, and not on the same at all.
No, and that's
really
why
funny.
I punch glass windows.
Windows. Hey, if you're a glass window, you better be afraid because Reese is in town.
That's right. You're gonna get punched.
I feel like that's how if you were like a international celebrity, Reese is how they'd say your name.
Let's go back to talking about my birthday because
we never left your birthday.
We did for a second.
Not really.
You digressed. But now I don't remember what I was gonna say about my birthday.
You were gonna say it's your birthday.
Go, Reese.
Where I'm excited about. We're gonna go out for dinner for your birthday.
We're gonna get a fondue.
We're gonna go. So all right. So I'm not gonna say where we're going. You know what? You know why I'm not gonna say where we're going? Just in case we don't have a good time. And I don't want to. I don't want to set the expectation that we have to talk about where we went to, because I have made a decision in my life where I have decided I'm actually not going to say negative things about places. But what I am going to do is I'm going to say positive things about places. So many businesses are struggling.
Yeah, okay.
That I feel that, you know what, I'm not going to say something bad about a business because there are people that may love that business, right?
Yeah.
And that's somebody's livelihood, and I don't want to have an impact on that.
Right, unless, you don't know what they're going through.
Unless it's a positive impact.
It was bad. Yeah, I get it.
You see what I'm saying? Yeah. And so I decided, I don't know, I don't know when I decided this, last year, beginning of this year. I have so much respect for the people who start their own thing,
especially
and make it work, and in particular when they then can hire people and give people jobs and give people, like, I'm all for that. Yeah. So I decided, if I'm going to be true to myself, Reese, I can't say negative things.
I like that. I like this positive attitude. So I'm going to go with, so I've been reading the Matthew McConaughey.
Oh, the Green Lights book.
So I read a couple of pages, actually.
Just a couple. You do it. Reese,
listen.
She just does it a couple pages at a time.
No, I do, because for some reason, something happens when I read.
When you read,
I get sleepy.
Oh, well, oh, yeah. Yeah. So there are situations like that.
I get sleepy.
Okay.
Isn't that weird?
Real quick. I'm just going to.
It's like a triggering.
No, I'm going to digress for a second. That's how I get with Audible books, like those types of things. Like if people read a story to me, I pass out.
I'm opposite.
I like a podcast when it's like, it's a different energy, I feel. And so when it's reading, and I think, listen, we're programmed for that, right? Yeah. Because what do you do with the kids? You read them stories so they go to sleep. And I think if I listen to somebody reading something.
Yeah. No, I get that. I honestly, I think that's what it is. I think it's like it triggers like something in the back of my brain. My parents read to me every night. And I don't know. It's just my eyes get so heavy.
I have a question. What did they read to you? Like, what was the go-to?
So there was a few. They read Cinderella. My dad read me that all the time. Cinderella was my favorite. Right. So
you know what? That shoe definitely would have fit your foot.
And I definitely would have lost it at midnight like a drunk bitch.
Yeah, that's true.
So he used to read me that. He used to read me The Giving Tree.
Okay. I don't think I know that one.
We have that one, and you should read it. And it's a young boy with a tree.
Yeah.
And he just totally takes advantage of the tree, but then
right.
I'm going to cry.
Oh.
And then he comes back when he's older, and the tree still cares for him. Oh. It's like a parent-child thing.
Yeah, I got you.
And people try to make it it's a bad thing, but it's really not, because that's a true
Well, I don't know. I haven't read it, but I'll read it. You know what?
It's in the bookshelf.
I will read it and I will give a report.
And it is expensive because it is an original copy. It was my copy from when I was a kid.
It's literally written on paper from trees.
It's on a tablet.
It's from
on stone. It's a stone tablet.
No, it's from the tree of which is the Giving Tree that gave the paper for
the Giving Tree was another one, and they used to read me some like.
What else?
I had like a fairy tales book, and they used to read me like that stuff. But yeah,
I read
to fall asleep. So I'm not saying that the Green Lights book makes me fall asleep.
No. You're saying you just get sleepy. Reading.
I get very sleepy. So
that's
why
good. You should read before bed.
And I'm also reading No Exit.
Oh, well.
Which is
completely
existentialism. But so I read a little bit at a time, and I'm taking my time with that because I'm actually, when I enjoy a book, I don't try to finish it. Like Johnny and Emily read books.
Johnny told me about
the
book she just finished today, and it was like plot twist, plot twist, plot twist.
Yeah, but it's like 800. They read Little Woman like twice. Like I don't.
They have to work on the summaries. It was a long conversation.
Well, it's good though. It's good when your kids want to talk to you about books.
No, listen, I absolutely.
Yeah. So I was putting together a gift for someone, and I went downstairs, and I remembered that I had this like black and white confetti stuff, and I was like, "Ooh, this would be cute to put in." Like, so I feel like I watch a lot of TikTok. As Dave knows. Shut up. So anyway, they always do this thing. You know what TikTok is? They always do this thing where they're like, what is one thing that... So I would do one that's like...
They is the TikTokers?
So I would do one that was like, what is one thing that you have in your house that if someone asks you for it, they know you're going to have it?
Okay. Glitter.
Wow.
Confetti.
Well...
Both.
But be reasonable. What is something if you're just like, oh man, I need this, and then you're like, man, we might not have it, and you're like, oh wait, Reese
has
probably have it. What would it be? What would I have besides a pickled liver? Boing.
I had no idea that was going to happen or where that was going.
He was fake laughing.
Sorry. Well, no. Well.
What is one? So anyway, you could think about it and then come back to me. So anyway,
all right. I'll check in with you later.
Thanks. So I always have, for no reason.
What do you have, Reese?
A translucent
bag.
Party bag.
Yeah, party bag.
And that so the girls are like, oh my God, I have to put this gift together and blah, blah, blah. And we always have like some sort of like tissue paper.
All right,
or
time
like
out.
A thing.
Translucent. Does that mean you can see through it?
You see through it.
Yeah, okay.
Yes.
Completely, though.
Sometimes I don't use the right word, but that was the right word.
I was checking because I wasn't sure if I understood the word. I wasn't about you. It was about me. Stop thinking it's about you.
It's always about you. Anyway.
That's right.
So
yeah.
I
Depends on who's
actually
speaking.
Probably had some in the house, but while I was out, I was like, I could always use more of these because for some reason, someone always needs it for something, or I do. And I'm like, this is a good idea. So I bought 2 gifts that would fit weird in packaging. And I'm like, oh, I'm going to do this. And then I'm like, well, this looks, I wrapped it in like a tissue paper. And I'm like, this still looks plain. I'm like, oh, I got this black and white paper.
Yeah.
Confetti.
And
like a little tube. So I go downstairs, I come upstairs, I go to open the top part, but the bottom part popped open and the confetti went
everywhere.
And I was like, are you kidding me right now?
No.
And so I left. And of course I took a picture.
Of course you did.
Because Dave wasn't in the room and I have to, if I do something that's stupid where I can get away with it, why would I do that when I could take a picture?
You really took a picture
show
because
him
magic
and then
walked
he
by.
could be like, you ruined my whole story, David. Do you know
ruin
what
it.
really grinds my gears? Boing. So I was like, oh man. So I take a picture. The floor is like, whatever. And I'm like, ugh. But anyway, so I do what I have to do. I fix everything.
Mm-hmm.
But as I'm like, just before I start to sweep and clean it, magic strolls in. And I'm like, oh, it's going to be good. Because he's a black and white cat. And it was black and white confetti all over the floor. And I'm like, this is going to be awesome. So I just took like a bunch of pictures and then he just came up and started sniffing my phone. And it was like this perfect picture. And I'm like, green light.
Green light.
Thank you, Matthew McConaughey.
I'm happy for you.
green light.
You
Because you know what? It sucked because I really didn't. I constantly drop
You deserve that.
and spill things.
You know, it was a happy
But I
accident.
was like,
it was a
hey,
happy accident,
I
Reese.
know. Green light.
That's what you got out of that. A happy
Listen,
accident.
the red light was I dropped the stuff all over the floor. The green light is that magic gave me a photo opportunity. Not that I don't take enough pictures of my cats.
Correct. So
David.
I was gonna say,
He just put the microphone to his butt.
No, that was. So let me ask you. So here's what I was gonna say. You know,
Dave.
Jesus Christ, all things considered.
That's the name of this segment. All things considered.
Oh,
I do good fart. I could be a fart noise. Listen, I was a fart master during Shrek.
I could. You just said I could be. I could be a. I'm gonna pass out. Stop it.
So this morning, you don't have to put this in the thing. But this morning I get up and I had to get dressed.
This is this is
And
gonna
put
be the whole
makeup on.
episode. The whole
Put
episode is gonna
makeup
be
on.
called fart.
So I go inside and I go into the bathroom and I go to start putting on my makeup. I just come out of the shower. Like everything is great. Bathroom smells delightful. Dave comes in and he's like, I gotta go to the bathroom. I'm like, no.
I'm gonna go take a dump now.
I actually
You did kick me out. I
did
was like, all
kick
right.
him out of the bathroom, and you know what?
I left. I was good.
He
Good for
was
you.
like, "That's cool."
All
and
right.
and Liz, here's the deal: we've been married for this April will be,
This is gonna be
17
We're gonna
years.
be married for 17
So
years.
here's the thing.
Good for us.
I will never,
High fives.
I will never air five. I will never ever ever. You've never walked in while I was pooping, and when he would
Gone
try,
forever.
I
What's
would
the song?
scream.
What's the song?
I would scream, "Get out!" Like if you try, like I don't care if I'm peeing, but if you try to come in while I'm,
Oh no!
no one can
you know
come
what?
in.
I don't want to be in there when you.
No, you should not because
No.
there's a you gotta have something.
Well,
You gotta
it's
have
just that
something.
and just
Listen, I
whatever.
did a little toot once in a while, and we
So
laugh at it.
that's funny.
and we
'cause
laugh at it
because you
it's
usually
cute.
you usually do not.
No, I don't.
I am not afraid to.
No, Dave
I
just let
gotta get rid of it
He just
because
lets
it's
them
like,
rip
oh my
all
god.
the time, and did it from early in the relationship. Like when we were dating, he didn't even care. And I was
What
like,
I think,
"Nah,
and
right."
look at us, 17
I was
years,
like, he must be
17 years
comfortable.
later.
But here's the thing, like that's not a thing. Like there's no. I was like, but sometimes like when I'm sleeping, I might like, and then Dave's like, I'm like, shut up, and then we don't talk about it.
Yeah, but there have been times where you accidentally
Yeah.
just kind of let one go.
Yeah,
and it's like,
but
whoa.
And then we laugh at it, and then I won't like let
No,
one rip
but
in
like
front of you.
you're gonna
But my
for the most
burps,
part.
my
Oh, the burp.
burps.
You are the see. I
I'm
don't
the
bur- I,
burp
see. I'm
queen.
not a burper. I'm a
I'm a
farter for
burper.
sure. You are a burper.
I love burping.
We got the right stuff. We put the hammer right down.